In the Mahabharata, Krishna is often remembered as the divine charioteer who delivered the Bhagavad Gita. But before he was the spiritual guide on the battlefield, he was a master strategist, a diplomat who understood power, persuasion, and the delicate balance of peace and war. If you look beyond the miracles and mysticism, Krishna's actions reveal a playbook for leadership and negotiation that remains as relevant in boardrooms and politics today as it was in the royal courts of ancient India. Krishna, beyond the flute and the battlefield. Krishna's image in popular culture is often that of a playful cowherd, a divine lover, or the philosophical teacher of the Gita. But in the Mahabharata, he emerges as a political genius, someone who could read people, anticipate moves, and use both compassion and cunning to achieve his goals. His approach wasn't about brute force, but about understanding human nature, managing alliances, and using timing as a weapon. Lesson 1. Choose sides wisely. When the war between the Pandavas and Kauravas became inevitable, Krishna made a diplomatic masterstroke. He offered both sides a choice: his massive Narayani Sena army, or himself, unarmed. Arjuna chose Krishna. Duryodhana chose the army. By aligning himself with Arjuna, Krishna ensured the Pandavas gained his wisdom and guidance, while the Kauravas got soldiers but no strategists. This teaches a timeless lesson: people are often more valuable than resources. In business and politics, a brilliant mind can outweigh an army of followers. Lesson 2. The art of neutrality. That isn't really neutral. Krishna claimed he wouldn't fight in the war, keeping his word to remain neutral. Yet, by serving as Arjuna's charioteer, he positioned himself at the heart of the action. He respected the letter of his promise, but still influenced the outcome. This shows how strategic positioning can allow you to guide events without openly breaking commitments, a tactic still used in diplomacy today. Lesson 3. Negotiating from a position of strength. Before the Kurukshetra war began, Krishna personally visited Hastinapur to negotiate peace. His demand was minimal: give the Pandavas 5 villages and avoid bloodshed. The offer seemed small, but it was a test of Duryodhana's arrogance. When Duryodhana refused even this, Krishna exposed him as unreasonable, justifying the war to all neutral parties. In modern terms, this is a negotiation trap, making a reasonable offer you know will be rejected to reveal the other side's inflexibility and win moral high ground. Lesson 4. Divide and conquer, but with precision. Krishna often disrupted enemy unity by sowing doubt or targeting key individuals. Before the war, he persuaded Karna to switch sides by revealing his true heritage. Karna refused, but the attempt still weakened his morale. He also orchestrated alliances, such as bringing the mighty Yadava warriors, except his own troops, into the Pandava camp. This demonstrates the principle of isolating the strongest opponent and building coalitions to offset their power. Lesson 5. Adapting rules to reality. Krishna knew that blind adherence to rules could lead to defeat. Throughout the war, he advised the Pandavas to bend dharma when necessary, suggesting Bhima target Duryodhana's thigh of forbiddance, strike to ensure victory, encouraging Arjuna to kill an unarmed Karna when his chariot wheel was stuck. To Krishna, the greater dharma was the survival of justice and the Pandavas' rightful rule, even if that meant breaking battlefield codes. This is the uncomfortable truth in Statecraft. Sometimes moral flexibility is necessary for a greater good. Lesson 6. Timing is everything. Krishna's interventions were always precise. He delayed the war until the Pandavas completed their exile and regained strength. He waited for Shikandi's moment to confront Bhishma, knowing Bhishma wouldn't fight Shikandi due to a past vow. In leadership, timing can be the difference between a failed plan and a decisive win. Acting too early or too late can destroy strategy. Strike when the conditions are right. Lesson 7. Controlling the narrative. Krishna shaped how events were perceived. By framing the war as a fight for justice, he ensured the Pandavas retained public sympathy. Even his own morally gray tactics were seen in the light of righteousness because the end goal was portrayed as the restoration of Dharma. In today's world, controlling the story around the action is just as important as the action itself. A leader who can define the narrative controls the moral lens through which history will remember them. Lesson 8. Balancing soft power and hard power. Krishna combined persuasion, charm, and philosophy, soft power, with calculated shows of military readiness, hard power. He could just as easily calm a tense court with words as he could terrify enemies by displaying his cosmic form. This duality ensured that allies respected him and enemies feared him. Modern applications of Krishna's strategy. Krishna's political brilliance can be distilled into timeless principles. Choose allies for their minds, not just their numbers. Influence without overexposure, guide from the sidelines when needed. Negotiate in ways that reveal your opponent's weaknesses. Break up enemy unity and build coalitions. Be flexible with rules when the greater good is at stake. Master timing strike only when the moment is right. Shape perception as much as reality. Balance diplomacy with the power to act. Conclusion: the statesman behind the avatar. Krishna's role in the Mahabharata proves that leadership is not just about charisma or power. It's about understanding people, anticipating moves, and guiding events toward your vision. He was not only the divine guide of the Gita, but also a strategist who knew how to play the political game without losing sight of the higher purpose. If Krishna were alive today, do you think he'd be a political leader, a global diplomat, or a corporate CEO? And more importantly, would his tactics be celebrated or criticized in our modern world? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take.